He's saying everyone knows. He's saying hi.
Oh, no, he's like, he just try to, this is the cop that killed my brother, Stephon Clark. His name is Terrence McCall. Of course, he's still living Captain Lester. Got him here.
Stevante Clark came face to face with the man who killed his brother outside of a Sacramento Kings game. The officer in question opened fire on Clark, killing him in his grandmother's backyard.
2 Sacramento police officers shot an unarmed black man 20 times and killed him.
They stated they thought he had a firearm.
An autopsy commissioned by his family shows 7 bullets hit him in the back. Police say they thought Clark was holding a gun, but it turned out to be a cell phone.
The mayor and the city of Sacramento has failed all of you.
Stevante, with the grief of losing a sibling, desired the public to know the truth.
One question raised, why did officers turn off the audio recording on their body cams minutes after the shooting?
A question Stevante Clark asked the officer. He couldn't answer it.
The Sacramento Police Department facing serious questions tonight after it was just revealed that Stephon Clark, the unarmed black man killed by police, was shot 8 times, hit from both behind and on his side. That is according to a private family autopsy. The findings contradict police accounts of the deadly confrontation.
As we've gone over countless times, cops will lie to protect themselves in practically any case.
Police had said that Clark advanced towards officers when they opened fire, but what does this tell you about that narrative?
Well, one, it contradicts and maybe even refutes that narrative that police offer. It also reminds us that this young man was in extraordinary pain. The medical experts say he may have been laying there 3 to 10 minutes in extraordinary, excruciating pain while this is happening.
The mayor wants to talk to me. The chief of police got my brother killed. He doesn't care. He shows no emotion at all.
The Sacramento Bee's Marcus D. Smith had a really good write-up on the interaction between Stevante Clark and the officer. It all went down when Clark's nonprofit, I Am Sac Foundation, were en route to Game 5 of Warriors Kings. When he saw badge number 90, it was the officer who killed Stephon. Terrence Mercadal and his fellow LEO, Jared Robinette, were involved in Stephon's killing. Sadly, after slaying a citizen, they were cleared by their police department, who said no policy was violated. They'd claimed Stephon was the man who they received calls for breaking into cars. Then they alleged he had a firearm. As we've shown previously, he was unarmed. They mistook a cell phone for a gun. Stevante would tell the press, "I'm sad. I'm upset. It messed up my whole day. I'm ruined. This is the first time I've seen this cop in my life. I've never seen Terrence Mercadal in person." The officer on that night of the killing would tell his fellow members of law enforcement via ABC 10, "I was scared. I thought he had shot at me. I think I remember yelling, 'gun,' and I poked my head back out around the corner, further than I should have put it out there. And I see the subject is advancing towards us, and I see that same bright metallic shining of the light in his hands. I thought he was approaching and shooting at us. This did not happen. Pray family autopsy."
Is a very, very familiar story where whenever police are caught or at least investigated for excessive force or for a bad shoot, they always say this person was coming toward us, they were resisting, they were violent, they were running through bullets, like Darren Wilson said about Mike Brown and Ferguson. There are all these kinds of stories which rarely cohere with the facts and the evidence.
What Clark takes umbrage with is the Kings' past actions for his brother.
They established an education fund for Clark's children, partnered with local advocacy groups, and managed to resolve the costly business problem of protesters blocking access to the team's arena.
DeMarcus Boogie Cousins offered to pay for the funeral costs, an offer he has sadly made previously. Oddly enough, a tweet from the Sacramento Kings' official Twitter, where the team put together a video appearing to honor Clark, was taken down. With Mercadal, Clark simply could not believe he was working Kings games. He'd tell the Sacramento Bee, "You have a murderer literally working the Kings game, a guy who doesn't know the difference between a gun and a cell phone, a guy who did something so bad where a law had been created. He'd say, I am my brother's keeper. My silence is compliance. I have to speak up and speak out about Stephon and make officers uncomfortable every chance I get, because that's how I honor my brother.